Today, I want to talk about writing scripts. The reason winning businesses get so many clients on YouTube is because of how they write their scripts. I've literally analyzed hundreds of educational channels in the business education niche. I do tons of research on this topic every single day, and what I've noticed is that pretty much they all have the same scripting structure. And in this video, I'm going to break down how you can write your own killer YouTube script and break down the scripting process into 4 actionable steps, which will make it 10 times easier to go from a blank page to an absolutely killer script. And by the way, my name is Irvin. I've worked on over 500 YouTube videos in the business niche. I've helped generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in added revenue, and really helping businesses make money with YouTube is all I do. All right, so before I get into the 4 actionable steps that will help you write your killer YouTube script, for you to be able to draw as much value from this video as possible, this video assumes that you already have the title, thumbnail, and the general video idea already fleshed out. I don't want to cover this in today's video because it is a broader topic that deserves its own video, and so that's why in this video I want to focus on actionable steps that will help you structure the script so your ICP keeps watching and wants to work with you once they finish watching your video. So the first step to writing your own killer YouTube script is generating talking points first. So this means before writing the hook, before writing anything, you need to have your talking points already fleshed out. Now, this might seem counterintuitive because ideally you would do some research, maybe write down a few topics that you want to cover in a video, then you would go ahead and write the script, then you would continue on and write the body, and then you would kind of like end the video with a CTA, write the outro, and then later go back, maybe edit the script, remove a section, add a section, maybe edit certain parts, maybe do some extra research, and then go back and basically kind of like start tweaking things. But that's actually extremely inefficient, and it leaves you vulnerable to simply not being able to utilize your full knowledge on a certain topic. So that's why most people would write the script. They would force body to meet the expectations of the hook, and the body ends up feeling weak or generic because again, you're not utilizing your full expertise and knowledge that you have in your head, because that generic system simply doesn't work. And it's even worse if you try to use AI, because AI is simply going to hallucinate most of what's going to be written in the actual script. And so then when you go ahead and try to edit the script, it's going to feel 10 times weaker because it's obvious that AI wrote the structure because it's a weak structure. And then you later try to mold your actual expertise around this weak structure, and it's just generally doesn't really work. And so instead, what you should actually do is once you have your hook, your thumbnail, the idea fleshed out, and by the way, you shouldn't be making videos on topics that you're really not an expert in, because topics that you are really educated on really allow you to present yourself as the actual authority and as an expert. And so if you go by this direction, what you should actually do is first brain dump all of the talking points first. This is because the hook sets up the actual payoffs, but you need to have the payoffs ready first to be able to write the hook. And by doing this, your video will feel much more cohesive and valuable. This is because the hook of a video is a promise that you're making to your viewer. You can't make a clear promise if you don't know what the video delivers yet. Again, that's why you need to have the actual talking points first before writing anything. And this is because the contents of the video are what make or break everything. If the video and the contents of the video themselves are not interesting or valuable, the hook is not going to be able to save the video. Sure, people might click on the video, but as soon as the video starts to try and deliver value, but the value is really not there, or it's presented in a very terrible way, people are obviously going to click off, because why would they watch a video that they're not really going to get anything out of? And simply by having this concept top of mind, once the points are laid out, you can clearly see what's weak or maybe what's missing. And this also pressure tests whether the video is worth making at all. Sometimes you might think that you have a really good idea. You think about the packaging and this like really clickable thumbnail, and you have everything prepared, but once you actually get into executing the video and you start laying out the foundation of what the video contents could be, you might realize that the video might not really be worth even producing. And again, that's why you don't want to like jump the boat and start scripting out the hook or the structure for the video before having the actual contents laid out, because when you have the contents laid out, you have a much clearer picture of the actual value that the video will have. And I know this might seem really difficult because starting to write a script can be kind of daunting because you have this blank page in front of you, and it's really difficult to start forming cohesive sentences from the 15 thoughts that you might have in your head all at the same time. And so here's a quick tip that that's going to help you not start with a blank page. And this is what I use as well when scripting videos. I absolutely hate starting with a blank page. And what I do is I open up voice notes or ChatGPT, because ironically ChatGPT's voice transcript feature is, I think, almost 100% correct. I haven't really found any app or website that can really transcribe audio almost in real time into perfect text. I would, for example, open ChatGPT on my phone, start recording my audio, and I'm not gonna be able to show you because it looks kind of weird, but I would literally stand up and I would literally start brain dumping everything in my head about a certain topic. And the reason why this works is when you really speak out loud, it allows you to break down a topic like you're having a conversation with someone. This is exactly what you're trying to achieve. You're trying to talk through the idea out loud like you're explaining it to someone, like you're trying to explain the topic to your potential viewer. And once you're done brain dumping, you simply take that transcription, throw it into whatever AI you use, it's probably Claude though, and simply ask it to organize your thoughts into bullet points and then paragraphs that described what you talked about. And this process doesn't really take more than 10 minutes. And once you're done, you're going to have clear talking points already laid out for your video, and you're going to be able to see what kind of value you're going to be bringing. This brings me to the second step, which is now going to be going back and writing the hook. Now, the hook itself really has two jobs. Job number one is to confirm the click for the viewer. When a potential viewer is browsing around searching for a video and they see your title and thumbnail, they're gonna have a certain expectation for what the video is gonna be. And so that's why the first job of the hook in your video is to reassure the viewer that they clicked the right video. The first couple of lines should directly reference the promise of the title. A common strategy sometimes, and this depends on the video, is to sometimes literally repeat the title as soon as the video starts. And so this sets up the second job of the hook, which is to set up the payoffs for the video later on. And this is extremely important because in the first 20 to 30 seconds, the viewer has to feel that the video they clicked on is going to deliver on the promises in the title and thumbnail. And then the second thing is you need to make sure that the viewer is going to want to continue to watch the video. And to do that, you can simply tease the actual value that the video will bring later on. You can obviously do this in the actual script itself by sort of teasing what the video is going to actually break down, and then also visually by showcasing the actual value but not really revealing the details, which simply sparks the curiosity from the viewer and simply will want to make them to watch the entire video to get all of this value. And if you do this right, the viewer will, first of all, gain your trust as soon as they click on the video, because the first few lines from the hook immediately confirmed the click, which obviously made the viewer trust you a bit more because, okay, so like you did not clickbait them. And then you can carry over that trust into the actual setup for the payoffs in the video later on, and this way the viewer will continue to trust you, and again you can carry over that trust to the actual payoffs in the video that will come right after this. So to show you an example of how to confirm the click, here is a video from Alex Ramosi.
This is the blueprint to becoming a millionaire, and I'm going to walk you through the levels to becoming one. Level 1 is the fundamentals of wealth creation, and we're going to start with what even is a millionaire?
So this is a bit of a more over-exaggerated example. I chose to use Alex Ramosi because he's a well-known name in the space, and if he's using this strategy, it's obviously something that works, but I guess in this example, it's kind of over the top. It's good to test stuff though. But again, you can see as soon as the video starts, he literally repeats the title and then immediately actually goes into providing value. Now, he actually skipped showing off the payoffs in this video, but that's only because he actually showed the blueprint on screen. So it's a bit of a different example, but the structure stays the same. So here's another example from Brian NG and this video that I produced.
This is the only guide that you'll need to master YouTube scriptwriting. A year ago, I uploaded a full YouTube scriptwriting course that got over 200,000 views. And since then, I've worked with the top educational YouTubers and have generated millions of views along with millions of dollars with my scripts. And now I want to give you all of the newfound knowledge that I've acquired since then. I've literally spent hundreds of hours putting together 1,000+ slides just for this one video. We have full script breakdowns, live script editing, step-by-step walkthroughs. Literally everything that you need to know to go from a beginner to an expert at YouTube scriptwriting will be covered in this video. But wait, before we get into this video, there's something I have to tell you. If you can sit down for more than 5 minutes and take notes to even get 1% better at YouTube scriptwriting, sorry to tell you, but you're probably not gonna make it. We're gonna cover number 1, how to research videos so you can outclass your competitors. Number 2, my exact hook writing frameworks to capture your audience's attention in the first 30 seconds of the video. Number 3, how to script script your video payoffs. Number 4, how to write an open loop so that you can transition from one section to another without losing retention. Number 5, how to write call to actions in the middle and at the end of your video so that it actually converts viewers into customers. Number 6, how to edit your script, and we also have a live breakdown of me editing scripts live. Number 7, how to storyboard your video. And number 8, how you can use my full YouTube script writing system and feed it into an AI to help you write better YouTube scripts. So now let's get into research.
So this is an example from a course video. So this is a multiple hour video. So that's why the hook is a bit longer, but it still follows the exact same structure. The click is immediately confirmed, the problem is presented, and then the actual payoffs are clearly showcased. And then the trust is again thrusted into immediately the first payoff, which is the research part. And I wanted to add this extra point that's going to help you carry the trust from the start to the video to the actual end. And a great way to do that is to introduce these curiosity loops, which work by introducing an idea but delaying the explanation. So instead of saying, today I'm going to show you how to write a script, you can try saying, most people think writing a script starts with the hook, but that's actually the last thing you should write. And this works because the viewer's brain wants closure. Unanswered questions create tension that can only be resolved by continuing to watch the video. And you can also stack multiple loops for max effect. And each unanswered question is another reason that the viewer should keep watching. So by adding all of this together, the hook structure should basically start by confirming the click, then introducing curiosity by adding open loops, setting up the value for the video, then tease insights visually, and simply transition over to the body of the video. And when it comes to ending the hook, add absolutely zero fluff, because every line should guide the viewer to the next line and want them to continue to watch the video. And by adding lines that add zero value to the video, like, okay, so like without further ado, let's get into the actual contents of the video. I'm not going to delay this any longer. Whatever, it's simply gonna delay this gratification and can lead to someone clicking off because they might feel that this video is not gonna deliver to the promise made at the start. And so let's get into actually delivering to this promise, which is how to structure the body, because this is where the video wins or loses. This is the most important part. At this point, the viewer already has their expectations. After clicking on your video and watching your hook, the viewer's brain compiles everything they already know about the topic, and their combined previous knowledge and experience and expertise becomes their baseline expectation. So, for example, when you clicked on this video, you already, even subconsciously, created a backlog of all other videos that you watched about script writing, and that then became your baseline. And my job was to exceed that baseline as early as possible. You know, if the first payoff feels generic, the viewer will assume that the rest of the video is generic as well. But then again, if the first payoff surprises the viewer, they stay for the next one because their expectation was already exceeded. And so when it comes to structuring the payoffs, there is a bit of a strategy, because if you put your best point, something that you can talk about for hours, as your first payoff in the video, sure, the viewer will 100% at least watch the video while the first point is still on. But as soon as you transition to your second point, your third point, your fourth point, the quality and the amount of value you can provide gradually goes down. And when viewers see declining quality in the video, they never stay until the end, and your CTA will not get watched. And so instead, what you want to do is have your second or third best point be the actual first one. Now, you might think that this is something that's really not going to make sense, but when viewers see rising quality, they will stay and continue to watch the video, because when the payoffs in the video get better and better, the viewer expectation gets more and more fulfilled as they continue to watch the video. And if you might think that, you know, if you use your second or third point as the first one in the video, it's actually not going to be able to fulfill the promise from the hook, and it's not going to be able to carry over the trust from the hook, then again, this is one of the reasons why the video that you actually want to make might not be the best idea, because the actual value in the video is not going to be worth it for your potential viewers. Now, this same logic applies with music albums. This is something that Calloway talked about that really stuck with me, and I haven't been able to not notice since that point. The first track in the album is usually an intro song. It's not really like the best song. Sometimes there are not even vocals on that song. It's mainly just an instrumental, let's say. The second song is usually really good. The third song is usually really good as well. But in this example, so you have the first song, second song, and the third song is this hit single that obviously gets the most promotions. It's the first one to has a music video. It's the one everybody wants to listen to. But the way this album delivers value is that the intro is usually really strong, but then the second, third, fourth tracks are really good, but they're not the best ones on the album. The best one, the best song on the album comes after those first few that again already delivered on the expectation, and then you hit the listener, or in this case, your viewer, with the best part of the project, or again, your video, and now the viewer or the listener is really satisfied because as they continue to consume this content, they're getting more and more back. And by this point, anybody who listened to the hit song or anybody who watched the video up until your best point, they're already so hooked that they're simply going to continue to watch or listen until the end. And this is why this same philosophy applies to YouTube videos. And so similarly to before, I wanted to inject another piece of a quick value, and this is the problem solution example loop. It is a very simple and elegant way to transition from one section to another. So similarly to how open loops in your hook will lead the viewer to become curious, when it comes to sectioning out the payoffs in your body, you want to first create a problem, set up what people get wrong, for example, then the actual talking point should explain the solution and explain the concept that fixes the problem. And then you want to over deliver on that explanation by showing the solution working in practice. And you simply repeat this process throughout the video. Every time you show a solution, you introduce a new problem. This creates a rhythm of curiosity and payoff that keeps viewers watching. So this brings me to wrapping up a video and delivering the CTA. A quick rule of thumb is do not add a recap. I simply focus on the action. And I wanted to really explain this a bit more. Why recaps kill retention? As soon as you stop delivering value in your video, the viewer will immediately look on a new piece of content to click on. And so saying something like, so let's quickly recap what we covered, this immediately signals to the viewer that the video is ending, and this immediately breaks the tension, and the viewer is already looking to the right and scrolling other videos, and they will leave before the video actually ends, and your retention metrics will drop at the worst possible moment. And this is terrible for two reasons. Number one is the viewer will not actually watch your CTA or at least pay attention to it. And number two, this kills watch time retention metrics, because what YouTube sees is that people are clicking off before finishing off watching your video, and this will really hurt the viewer's reach and how much it actually gets recommended. And so instead, you want to cut straight to the CTA. So as soon as the last point is done, you cut immediately to the CTA and the video ends. And the CTA should be extremely short, straight to the point, simply tell the viewer what to do and end the video right there. And so here's a great CTA example from a video that I helped produce.
And if we go to our CRM, it will automatically sync it here so that we can keep track on our ROI on the campaign. Now all you have to do is go to Instantly to start implementing this cold email strategy just like Alex Hermosi does. Just click the link in the description to go directly to instantly.ai and start doing this ASAP. Also, if you want to learn the best lead generation strategy in 2023, go ahead and click this video right here.
And that's it. The video finished delivering value. Then it immediately cut to the CTA. There's obviously two clear directions that the viewer can take. Either continue watching this next video or take action and actually check out the service showed within the video. Super clean, super simple. It's not janky, and the viewer doesn't really have enough time to click off before they actually listen to the CTA. And if you're looking for someone to help you produce content on YouTube for your business, you can check out the first link in the description. Or if you're already producing videos, but you're simply not getting any leads, you can click on this video too as well.